I did a series on the racial wealth gap in the United States and got some form of this comment a bunch. And it always went something like this. I know an immigrant family who came here from India just 5 years ago, and now all of their children are in college, and they own 5 stores, and they own 3 houses. Why can't Black people do the same thing? This comes from a lack of understanding of both how generational wealth is built, a lack of understanding of systemic racism in this country, which a lot of people still are in denial about. And it also comes from a lack of understanding of immigration policies in the United States. You're talking about a country that made it illegal to educate Black folks for generations, okay? Then when they made it legal for them to read and write, they were kind of left to their own devices. They were completely segregated from the rest of the population. They were treated like they had the plague and were quarantined from the rest of the population in this country, and therefore prevented from developing the generational skills that would allow them to build wealth. Not to mention the actual laws that were in place until the 60s that said they couldn't go to certain schools, they couldn't live in certain neighborhoods, they couldn't get certain bank loans. But then let's look at immigration in the United States. This is something most Americans are blissfully ignorant about. When most Americans think of immigration, they think of the refugee crisis at the southern border. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, Ellis Island and all of that. That has not been a governing policy for U.S. immigration in a long time. These days, it's more like give me your doctors, give me your engineers, give me your titans of industry yearning to make a dime. So my degree is in international business and German studies, and I worked in the field of international relocation and repatriation for years. What most people don't realize is that to immigrate to the United States from a country that's overseas, that's a very difficult, arduous, and expensive process. You're going to be put on a waiting list for years. And even then, you're going to have to show that you have financial solvency. You're going to have to show that you have some sort of family support. And you're going to have to show that you have some sort of employment lined up when you get here. In other words, these are not poor people coming to the United States. They are people who are fairly wealthy in their country of origin. I had a lot of people ask me about Nigerians specifically. Well, what about Nigerians? It isn't about skin color, clearly, because they seem to be doing pretty well. If you've met any Nigerians in the United States, you know that, not to generalize, but they are often